way, and this week's seed has two very good things going for it. The first one is that I have marked out 12 mob spawner coordinates because people really like the 100 diamond coordinate video and the 10 emerald coordinate video, so I figured I'd do one for mob spawners. Found all the mob spawners I could find in this map. It took a while, and that's what I did there. And the second thing is that you've just noticed it's gone away now, but this map actually is set in a massive snow biome, which means when it rains, instead of the really annoying animation you get that you have to just endure, especially if you're multiplayer where you can't organize everyone sleeping, you get that snow thing you saw earlier on the video where it's just a really nice effect. So here's the map without the snow, and you saw it just before. I really like snow when it happens, and it's definitely more easy to deal with than rain, which is just it's loud, annoying, and just everyone hates it. So yeah, let's go straight into the seed. I'll be mostly focusing on the mob spawners because there's a whole bunch of variety of mob spawners, and of course if you want a very specific one you might need to look out for them, but there is 12 of them, and I've got to show them all. So let's go straight into this one, the one that's right next to spawn. So you spawn roughly here in this seed, next to this big mountain, and a few spruce trees, which are all really like sparsely placed along the map. Like there's just one, then there's one, then there's one. So getting wood can be a little challenging at first, but just going forwards from the spawn, a few blocks, literally this far, and then digging down here will lead you to your first mob spawner. So it's a zombie spawner, pretty average in all ways because it has an enchanted book, flame 1, very handy early game, and then a few buckets, a couple pieces of iron for an iron sword, and then a couple more buckets, so pretty average. You might actually need an iron sword just to fight your way through it, and also you can mine the spawner and get some XP if you don't want to make an XP spawner, which is always nice. So the second thing I'll be showing you is actually the stronghold or the end portal, because it comes with silverfish spawner. This is technically a 13th spawner, but I don't count it because as silverfish spawner it really doesn't have any use. You just want to mine this as soon as you can, get a really nice XP boost. Another thing I really like about this seed's stronghold is it actually comes with 2 ender pearls pre-placed in the end portal, which is really nice. So yeah, that's a really great thing right there at these coordinates just here. Again, all of these will be in the description at some point after the video goes live. Also, that's where you'll find the seed, and it's also on screen right now. toycatsmobs, just as a pro tip, because people ask that all the time, and not everyone check the description. So, second mob spawner, or third if you count the stronghold, is just over here at these coordinates, pretty low down, and the actual spawner itself you'll find is missing, and it will just come with lots of XP on the floor, and all of the stuff will also be on the floor, because for some reason the stronghold intersects it and just breaks the spawner. So this is all the stuff you'll find just lying on the floor. It's a really weird spawner because again, it's not normal for you just to find all the stuff just lying on the floor, but that's how this one worked, and free XP, free stuff, but unfortunately no real mob spawner, but it's still really weird that that just happened, and if that's what you're looking for in a spawner, I'm not sure why you would be, but you can totally find it there. So the next mob spawner, or the third one, is very close to that one. You can actually dig underground from the spawner to here, and it's at these corners just here, and in the chest you get nothing too great, but you of course do get some more iron, which is handy to make a pickaxe, and some more buckets, because you need buckets just all the time. Buckets are a brilliant part of Minecraft, and just take them all, or something like that. So after that we go a little bit further to the south, and you find the 4th mob spawner. So this mob spawner is pretty unique because instead of having 2 chests, you just have one, which isn't, that unique by itself. But there's also a little cave you can explore on both sides, and since this is pretty low down, you have a pretty decent chance of, digging through the caves and finding diamonds somewhere. So yeah, that's always handy. Also, some bread, some redstone, some string. Not great drops, but the first spider spawner so far, I believe. So next up, heading further to the south, east that is, we'll find the next mob spawner. So this mob spawner is pretty low down below a hill, so this depth again, actually almost the same depth as the other one. It's another spider spawner, and this one comes with blast protection too, which is very handy for going to the nether, so you might want to get this one if you're ever going there. As well as that, just a saddle, bread, not really great besides that, but blast protection is definitely worth having, especially since it's a free enchantment from a chest. So next up, it's going to be a fair distance away, all the way by the corner of the world here. And this mob spawner is a little bit different to the other ones because, let me just get in here, because in this one you'll find that it actually has a double chest for some reason. It's in a really weird place too, like this. I don't know how that happened, but it did, and because of that you get the chest split into 2 halves like this. One half has Silk Touch, which is a really rare enchantment, so that's great. As well as that you get lots more buckets. Just collect all the buckets, they're great, and they stack too. And then you also get 1 beast iron, some more gunpowder, and some breads, all very handy. Also, you get enough wheat to make more bread, which will give you the food to, just rush all of these spawners, if that's what you're into. Over in the corner of the world here, there are some pumpkins, which is, of course, usually more difficult to find in a snow biome, but we found one just in the corner there. And then heading all the way up north from this corner one, there is a big dry patch of spawners. I'd spent a lot of time looking, until you get right up to the very east of the map right here, so This one's another one that's quite close to the top of the ground. It's a zombie spawner with 2 chests. The 2 chests are pretty, average chests besides Fortune 1, which can of course be paired with the, any other enchantments you've got so far. And it's pretty handy early game when you don't really have a, Fortune 3 pickaxe, but you want to mine some diamonds and get an extra chance diamonds. Really, really handy, of course. It's not Fortune 3, but it's still pretty handy. And then we have another one just over here underneath some ice. So this one's a little bit more difficult to get to, but it's all the way down here. At these coordinates, very, very close to diamond level this time, and also it actually has a little cave over here, so you have a chance of finding some over in this cave if you want to dig that way some more. But yeah, so this one is a zombie spawner, of course, and it comes with 1 chest. Again, not really a great chest. Not all chests are great, and this is the only source of cocoa beans for the map, unless you have a bonus chest on. So definitely worth trying to get all these spawners, by the way. But next up, if we go a little bit further to the north, we find another spawner, of course. It's way over in these hills over here, because there is a really nice little hilly part of the map just over here, which is great for, mining down, great for doing some other stuff like that. And yeah, let's head down here now. So it's a really big dig down if you're going all the way from the top. I recommend just digging from another spawner or digging down from somewhere below surface and then just getting over here. These coordinates right here, no chests at all for some reason. I have no idea how that happened, and a spider spawner. So in reality, this is just an easy source of XP if you want it, or if you want a spider spawner and you want to set up base over here. Because as I said, it's a really nice part of the map if you like hills like me, then that's a great purpose for it too. So next up, we have one a little close to the center of the map, just over here. Again, next to the hills, though, and this one is similarly deep underground, and it's another spider spawner, but it has 2 chests, so you get yourself Thorns 2, a very rare enchantment, and you also get yourself Looting 1, which is also very nice. So if you combine that Looting 1 with the Flame 1 you got earlier, then you can get lots of cooked meat from stuff. It's a really nice pair of enchantments. And then you also got some cocoa beans, lots of bread for some reason, and a saddle. You'll notice lots of these come with saddles, which means if you want to have like a pig racing contest or something weird like that, this is a handy way to do that in survival, of course. So next up, heading further to the east of the map, I want to quickly show you something before I show you another mob spawner. So basically, there's a mob spawner just over there, by the way. But basically, there is a mushroom biome just over here in the corner, which is really nice because, although, snow biomes are great because there is no rain, sometimes you do need other biomes to get other stuff done, and mushrooms are a great addition to any seed. Not all seeds have them, so it's really lucky to get this. Definitely worth taking some back with you, just having them in your base, and confusing people because they're like, wait a minute, this is a snow wasteland seed. How did you get one of those? And yeah, it's cool in that way. So let me just show you the next spawner, which is just over here. So this spawner below surface, it's pretty actually high up compared to the other ones, and it's a skeleton spawner. I believe one of the first so far, and this is really great if you want to have an arrow farm because of course they drop them, and you also have like a 1% chance getting bows. So if you make an XP farm from this one, not only do you get a lot of XP, but you have a rare chance getting enchanted bows, regular bows, and in the chest you have cat, which is of course a great disc. But yeah, a really great skeleton spawner, and you also get a nice little cave here you can convert into a thing, which also leads to a lovely ravine. So that's a nice little feature right there. So, flying up again to the next mob spawner, you'll notice just over here that we have another mob spawner. There are 12 of these, of course, so far, and that's without the ones that I'll add to the description. So lots and lots of mob spawners. It's a second skeleton spawner, and in the chest this time you get projectile protection 3. Of course, very handy for the skeleton spawner. Just in case you don't want to do like an official XP farm, you just want to sit here and kill them as they spawn, you can of course put that on one of your pieces of armor, and it gives you a lot of protection, especially if it's diamond armor, and you can just sit here, just punch them to death over and over again. If that's what you'd rather do, if you don't want to set up an XP farm where you don't know how, then really handy for you. So heading to the east part of the seed, the west part of the seed, there is another mob spawner just here. Of course, I'm sure you understand these are mob spawners now. The lowest down one so far, so this is at y equals 8, which means when you head out here, you're at pretty much the perfect diamond level. So an interesting thing about this is if you just look out here, there is actually just redstone everywhere around it for some reason, and there's also a really nice bit of lava here. I'm sure if you dig around, you can probably find some diamonds somewhere, because you're right at diamond level with this spawner, and you get all the XP in the world with it. So, this comes with it, of course, Fire Aspect 1, very handy to combine the looting, like I said earlier, a saddle, some iron, just, general stuff, but looting 1 is probably the best part of it. So, next up, let's head over to, Fire Aspect 1, let's head over to the final spawner, which is very actually close to spawn again, but it's the final one in the tour. So this one's below a little ice lake thing, and if you head to the bottom of this one, you'll find that it's quite high above ground, another zombie spawner, and another double chest spawner, which is really odd. I have no idea why that's happened, and I haven't seen that before this. But the 2 enchantments you get of this chest are the best ones so far. You get Feather Falling 4. That means when you drop off something, you take pretty much no damage, unless it's like 100 plus blocks. And then you also get Power 3, which is, of course, really, really handy for bows, because it means instead of being able to just 2-hit people, you can 1-hit people if the bow is fully drawn back, which is of course pretty useful, even if they have a medium amount of armor. So if you want to destroy your friends because you're doing some sort of PvP thing, this seed can be the edge. It's really great for multiplayer because, as I said before, you don't have to organize sleeping when it rains. You can just be like, yay, it's snowing. What a nice bonus. And that's something I really like about it. So yeah, that's everything about this seed so far. I hope you enjoyed it. I recommend you check this out if mob spawners are your thing. I have no doubt you already have, though. It's in the description, as I said before, and